Yeah. We in the meth lab. Got your host, Big Twin. Thank you to all the subscribers, everybody who likes, comments, and shares. Okay, today we're going to talk about Big Twin, which is me. We're going to talk about Big Twin. I'm going to give y'all a little story time. I'm going to tell y'all about the first time I got raided. I got raided 3 times in my life. And they ran up one time, a 4th time, right? For aiding and abetting a fugitive. I ain't going to get into that today. Today we're going to get into the first raid. I'm going to tell y'all a little story. All right. So it's like, let's say, turning into 5 in the morning, right? I hear boom, boom, boom. I'm thinking I'm dreaming. I'm thinking I'm in a dream. You know, I'm laying there in the room, thinking I'm dreaming, you know, having a good night's sleep. You know, we used to get bent, smoke, all that, you know, every day. This is every day. Every day was like a party. You know what I'm saying? So I hear the boom, 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 right? Then my door goes flying open to my room. And the detective got the hammer to my face. He's like, get up, get up. So I get up, you know, get on your knees. So I get on my knees, right? Got the hammer to my head. Don't make one effing move. I'm like, all right. I'm over here in the daze and all that. You know, got me out of my sleep. Got the wife beater on and I'm on my knees like, yo, this is crazy, you know, crazy. You know, I'm still asleep. Like, yo, still thinking I'm in a dream and all of that. So he tells me, get up. And he takes me to the living room of my apartment. Real quick, the famous apartment 5E. If you from like the East Tremont, 178th, 179th area, you know 5E. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Word up. Somebody, you know, somebody too, leave a comment and all that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know about 5E, apartment 5E. Y'all already know. So he takes me to the living room, right? And when I get to the living room, I realize that he has my brother and my older cousin. They already knocked. They already cuffed and all that in the living room. So that means I actually slept through their rooms getting busted in. They came to me last, right? So they got everybody cuffed. They cuffed me up. They got us all in the living room. We all just looking at each other. You know what I mean? If you've been in a raid and all that, you know how this feels. We all just staring at each other like, yo, this is crazy. So there was a lady cop, a lady detective, and she says, wow, this is like one of the cleanest houses I ever seen, the cleanest apartments I ever seen. And I'm over here looking at her and all of that, you know, because we used to keep it clean, you know what I'm saying? Clean dudes, you know, clean money, clean dudes, you know. So I'm watching the dogs. I'm watching the like ATF looking big dudes, big Colossus looking dudes running through the crib and all that. It's crazy and all that. You know, I'm looking at my snake. I had a Colombian python, you know. My fault, not a Colombian python, a red-tailed Colombian boa constrictor. So the boa, I'm looking at the snake. You know, the cat is somewhere in the back of the house. I don't even see the cat. We had a cat too. I don't even see the cat. You know what I mean? So they running through the crib with the dog and all that. They got the big dudes. So the dude actually finds the little bit of sour I had, right? And we had a little bit of the regular too. They find that. You know what I'm saying? And they also find the little diesel bags. We had the bags for the diesel and all that. And I'm not talking about the sour and all that. I'm being careful of how I tell this story because of YouTube. They find the little diesel bags and all that too. You know what I'm saying? So we sitting there and all of that. They like, all right, get up. Everybody up. You know, so we get up and all that. You know, it's cold outside. We not even properly dressed. I got on the wife beater. It's a little nippy outside and all that. You know. So when they tell us get up, you know what? I came to a conclusion in my mind. You know what I said? I said, yo, this is all mine. Facts. Trying to, you know, get my brother and my cousin. They already had like some prior stuff going on. So I thought about the priors that they had, and I didn't have no priors at this very time. I had priors from back in the past, but no recent priors. So I'm like, yo, everything is mine. So the detectives, they all looking at me like, oh, like, you know, they like, I'm like, yo, this is all mine. They ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm like, it's all mine. These dudes ain't got nothing to do with it. They didn't even care about that. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. They march us all out the crib, you know. They march us through the jacks, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody outside. Mind you, this is like 5 in the morning. Ain't nobody outside, right? So they throw us in the maroon van, right? They throw us in that maroon van. Y'all from the Bronx, y'all know about that. Y'all from the South Bronx? Y'all know about that maroon van. So they throw us in the cold maroon van. We in the dark. So we all back there in the dark talking to each other, and then they start riding around the block. I know my hood, so I could feel like every turn they making and all that. I know exactly where they at. You understand? So they finally get to up the block. I could tell that they only like 4 blocks up, and they stop. Boom. They go hit somebody else. They go raid somebody else while we in the van waiting, right? So they hit whoever else, and they brung a he-she. Follow me? Don't want to say too much. This is YouTube. Into the van. That's who they just hit. You understand? Boom. They start riding again. They take us to the 48th. If y'all from the Bronx, y'all know about the 48th. The 48th right there, by right under like the Cross Bronx. Right there. They bring us to the 48th precinct. Right? Peep this. Peep. As soon as they're walking us through the 48th, the detectives are clapping. They like, as they're bringing us through the 48th. They're clapping because they finally nabbed me and my brother, okay? Then certain thoughts start coming through my head. Now I'm start thinking about, hold up. Somebody was talking about us. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody had these dudes hip to us. I didn't find out all that out till later on. I'm thinking, how did they know? How do these dudes know who we are already? Somebody had them hip to us. These dudes was watching us for a while. I found that out later. All right. So they got us up in the 48th. We up in there sitting there. I'm looking at my brother. I could tell. He's thinking, yo, how did this all happen? Who told on us? I'm sitting there thinking, who told on us? My older cousin, he's just sitting there looking disgusted at the whole thing because he ain't have nothing to do with nothing. He just got caught up in our stuff. But, he was a little bit foul too. So, when you foul, you might have to take the ride with somebody else. I done told y'all about that on previous videos of how, like, when you foul, you might have to take the ride with somebody else. Or for your previous foul stuff that you did, you got to pay the price for that, the karma for that. Follow me, So we sitting there in the 48th, and the police, they keep walking past us back and forth. They giving us phone calls. I don't know certain numbers because I would just click on the numbers on my phone. So I didn't know a lot of people's phone numbers by heart. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't even know who to call. Same thing with my brother. He didn't know certain numbers, so we don't even know who to call. You understand what I'm saying? Because we only know the numbers by actually going to the contacts on the phone and pressing on the contacts. So we ain't know the numbers or nothing and all that. So we sitting there for a few hours and all that. So the he-she decides to take a piss. Right there in the cell with us. The he-she kept asking, could he take a piss? They was like, nah. The he-she did it right there in the cell. Follow me. You understand? So we sitting there for a couple of more hours. So then they decide to bring me to the interrogation room, right? So as we in the interrogation room, I tell the detective straight up. I'm like, yo, I don't know what you got me up in here for. I'm guilty. You know what I'm saying? Don't ask me no questions about nothing, nobody, none of that. I'm guilty. You got me. That's it. Let's do whatever we gonna do. Do whatever y'all gonna do. Take us wherever y'all gonna take us. Do whatever y'all gonna do. Let's move on with our lives and all that. Let's do whatever we gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So the detective actually says to me, he said, yo, you don't remember me? And I'm looking at his face. And I'm like, nah. He's like, look at me. Look at my face. Do you remember me? So I'm looking at him. And I finally remembered him. They hit us on Friday. Wednesday, I was hitting somebody in the lobby of the building. This dude actually came in the building and said, oh, could you open that door for me? The lobby door. And I opened the door for him and let him in the building. And he said, thank you. And he went up the steps. I actually let the detective into the building who hit us 2 days later. So the detective tells me, he's like, yo, we was watching you guys for quite some time. He said, you guys is not the most liked, in you guys' neighborhood. You guys are not the most famous, like liked characters in your neighborhood. You feel me? I start to think again. Yo, who did this to us? You know what I mean? We going through all of this because somebody told on us. Who told? I start to think again, you know? Then as I'm sitting there, I start to think about a lot of the scumbags that wasn't from my hood, that was actually getting it on. They was doing their thing in my hood. Dudes that wasn't from there, but was invited there from other people that's actually from there. There was a lot of knuckleheads running around my hood doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? They rolled out the red carpet for them. Other dudes that was actually from there rolled out the red carpet for them. They let them walk on the red carpet and all that and do their thing. You understand what I'm saying? Mind you, people that was actually from there was letting people that's not from over there, that was their friends or their cousins or whatever you want to call it, rock over there. You understand what I'm saying? I start thinking about these dudes. I don't know why I started thinking about like people that wasn't from the hood, that was from my hood, you know, doing their thing out there. That's what I started thinking about. So I'm like, yo, wow, these is the people who actually probably told on us and this and that. You know what I'm saying? But at this point, when I'm in an interrogation room, I still don't know for sure. You know, so I'm sitting there, do whatever you're going to do. So he made me write a statement saying that I'm guilty. So I wrote it. Boom, I'm guilty. Let's get it on. You know what I mean? Take me, just do whatever y'all want to do. Take me wherever you're going to take me next. Where we going? Where we going? The bookends. We going to the boat. We going to the island. Wherever we going. Let's do it. Let's get it on. You know what I'm saying? So he sends me back to the cell. We sit there for a little while. He snatches my brother in there. Boom, you know, whatever happened with him. I'll let him tell his story on here. You know, whatever was said in there with him, right? So we chilled for a couple more hours, rounded us up. Let's go. Everybody up. Boom. We all jumped up, this and that. Boom. They take us back in a van, right? And they take us over to 161, 161st Street, the bookings. When we get out the van, to go into the bookings, he's like, yo, the detective's like, yo, anybody want a bogey? Anybody want a cigarette and all that? I'm like, all right, yeah. Gives us all cigarettes. Boom. We cuff. So he had to put it in our mouths, like, here. You know what I'm saying? Lit it for us and everything. So we had to actually be cuffed up like this with the cigarette, smoking the cigarette, like, you know, like this, cuffed up. You can't touch it. You know what I'm saying? So if you drop it out your mouth, it's you know, you finish. It's finito. So smoking it real quick, spit it out. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Everybody spit it out. Boom. They run us through, put us through, you know, run us through the bookings and all that, right? So we in the bookings, you know, if y'all ever, any y'all ever been in the bookings, you already know how it is. That first cell, it's like 50 people in one cell. Then something weird happened that I never seen before. The previous booking stay, I didn't see. There was like some goggles. Yo, I need y'all to comment on this. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? That actually been in here. I need y'all to comment on this. There was some goggles, right? Some goggles there that you actually had to like take, you know, put your eyes on the goggles. And I guess the machine actually scans your eyes. You know what I'm saying? So the next 5 minutes, I'm over here thinking, you know, I knew about like the conspiracies and all of that type of, you know, esoteric knowledge and all that. So I'm thinking, why did I just have to put my eyes there? What did they just do to my eyes? You know what I'm saying? So I'm starting to think like, yo, it's something that scans your eyes or scans your pupils or, you know what I'm saying? Reads the dilation in your pupils or something like that. To this day, I still don't know what that is, but I'm going to research it. I'm going to research what that was. If any of y'all that know what that machine actually was, hit me on the comment section, let me know, right? So we in that first cell, where it's like 50 of us all in that cell, you know, boom. They move us to the next cell, you know what I'm saying? We all crammed up in there and all that. Let me say this and all that too. Let me say this. The bookings, Central Bookings 161, is worse than Rikers that y'all keep talking about, all right? Being in Central Bookings is worse than being on an island. Holla at me on the comments. Get at me. Let me know. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong or tell me I'm right. It's worse. Bunch of people crammed up in the cell and all that. They got us in the third joint, the third cell and all that. We up in there, you know, some dude, he had a bogey and all that, lit that, you know what I'm saying? Hit that real quick, boom, threw it out. Here come the CEO, yo, I smell cigarette smoke. I'll send y'all all back to the first cell, this and that, you know? Everybody play like you throw the hoodie on, play like you sleep. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody telling on nobody or nothing, you know what I mean? I tell you, boy, stay in school. But all right, so yeah, so then they move us to the next joint, you know what I'm saying? They move us to the next cell. We up in there, same thing. You know, dudes is taking craps right there in front of you. What you doing? Yo, oh, stop. Come on. What you doing? Take crap right there in front of us. What's up? What you doing? And all that, you know, big COs, you know, big CO ladies, big black CO ladies walking around and all that. Get your fingers off the cell, you know, hitting with the stick. Get your fingers off the cell, all that, you know. Boom. So they take, I'm running y'all through this quick and all that too. You know what I'm saying? So then they take us to the last joint, the last cell, right? You know, it's a bunch of us crammed in there. So when you get to that last cell, that's when you actually get a chance to talk to a legal aid. Or if you have a paid lawyer, that's when you're going to get your chance to talk to them. So in that last cell, boom, you talk to the legal aid. I talked to the legal aid. I told the legal aid, yeah, I'm guilty, this and that, you know, do whatever you're going to do, whatever. Boom, they send me back, you know what I'm saying? They finally called my name. You know what I'm saying? They like, yo, you know, the judge is like, yeah, I told the judge right then and there. It wasn't even that point in time. I was like, yo, I'm guilty, this and that, and this and that. Boom. You know, they let us up out of there. Had to go back for another court date and all that. They gave us another court date. They ain't make no decisions right there, which they don't. If y'all who been through the system, y'all already know how it work. They don't right then and there. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, I get outside. It's kind of cold and all that. You know, wife beater on and all that. I'm like, damn, yo, what just happened? So, you know, I waited for my brother. My brother came out. You know, we went back to the crib and all that. Crib is all ransacked. Doors door got a lock on it. You know, we bust right back up in the door. We had to break the door, our apartment door back in, went up in there. They ransacked the whole joint. You know what I'm saying? I was making sure that the snake was still there. The cat was good. You know, they animals, they was all good. But the crib was ransacked. They done messed this crib up. You know what I'm saying? I went to the stash. Where the bread was at. You know? Guess what? The bread was gone. The D's took it. They took the money. They took my money, all the savings. And I'm not going to get into how much it was. I ain't getting into all that. But it was a nice number, and they took it. So now, they took your money. What you going to do? Nothing. Why you can't do nothing? Because it's untaxed money. This is money that nobody knows exists except you and them. Feel me? Ain't nothing you could do about it. Start to get sick. Stomach start hurting and everything. I'm like, yo, I got to get this money back and all of that. You know what I'm saying? That they took. This is part 1. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to hit y'all with part 2 soon. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody for listening. You've been through this? Comment. Let me know. You want to elaborate on this in the comment section with me? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know how y'all feel about all this. I want to know. For y'all that been through this, I want to know who been through the same thing I've been through and all that. I usually talk about the hip hop news and all that, but this is story time. I'm going to hit y'all with the story time every now and then. You already know. The Big Twin Saga. You already know. Subscribe to Twin NYC. That's the other, my brother that I'm talking about that y'all see in the thumbnail. That's Twin NYC TV. Go over there and subscribe and all that. You already know. This is the raid, part 1. The first raid. You already know. This is Big Twin, M.E.T.H Lab, BX. You already.